The Fantasy Footballer Studio is sponsored by Walmart. Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome in. The Fantasy Footballers, Friday, August 8th. Thrilled to be with you. Mike, the Fantasy Hitman, is here. Jason Moore.
Hello.
And I'm Andy Holloway. Excited for a mock draft episode today. We'll catch you up on the latest news and notes in the fantasy football world. We've got some preseason football to
huge takeaways.
Briefly discuss. I mean, we had some games last night, so that's fun. That's exciting, and we had some starters playing. For those of you enthusiastically hoping for kind of a repeat situation in Cincinnati, for the offense to have to carry everything, I think you will be comforted by what took place last night. An entire starting defense getting pummeled by an entire backup situation in Philadelphia.
Yeah, we love to see
Trey
that.
Hendrickson, did your leverage go up?
I don't know if it actually does.
I mean,
do they care?
They gave up 24 points to a backup quarterback that looked like Joe Montana for 2 quarters.
Does the ownership actually care? That is unknown, but along with the defense being what we hope for fantasy, Jamar Chase remains
good.
Just so
good at football. Yeah.
Just so good.
He's pretty athletic.
Yeah, he really is.
We were talking, was it yesterday, about the odds of repeating, and we hadn't had one since Antonio Brown, like
as the number one wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Like it
feels set up
it
for
really
success.
could happen this year. But injuries always, they get involved and things like that. But I thought Jalen Milroe, that was one of the takeaways for me. Like, I thought he looked really good for Seattle. Fast, really fast.
Yeah, every time he ran, he was so much faster than all the defenders.
And in the way he threw the football, too, like there is some – you talked about Bazooka Joe. I mean, there is some steam on those throws. He kind of Cam Newton-esque in that sense where Cam Newton just laser beams all over the field when he broke into the league. So, Sam Darnold, obviously the starter there, but it seems like, it's nice to see these rookies get opportunities on the field.
Milroe is fascinating for Dynasty. We thought, in the draft season, we talked about that of like, he was for a quarterback, there's no draft capital there. There is a starter who has the bag in front of him. But if looking around the 32 situations, that's one where it could disintegrate real fast underneath Sam Darnold, and all of a sudden Milroe starting. And if Milroe is starting, he becomes
it's Milroe's place.
At
that point,
it's
Milroe's place.
Okay.
Yeah, like
it would be.
I like Joe Milton III. I think he's a legitimate. Like if he had a starting opportunity, I think he'd be okay. But he's not going to outplay Dak for a starting role. If Darnold goes, 2-4 to start the season and is struggling, you could absolutely see a replacement happen. I do think.
I don't think they would happen that quick.
No,
maybe
not this year.
Maybe not
this
a
year.
few games in, but certainly if he is playing bad football. I mean, if Darnold comes out and just looks like trash and he's the problem for the Seahawks, I do think that a switch could be made. If they've got a backup that is looking good, yeah.
Russell Wilson was the pick 75 overall for Seattle, right? And Milroe 92.
The Matt Flynn era.
They signed him to a big chunk of money.
Different regime. But.
No, but the similarities there. But, one preseason game does not a career make.
Who else? Tyler Warren, to me, was a big story in the sense that he played every snap with the starters. He had a ton of first-rate targets. Obviously, you didn't have the primary. Downs didn't play. Pittman didn't play. But it was really nice to see.
Richardson didn't really play.
Oh, man.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, Richardson took a defender to the face or to the fingy.
Both.
Yeah, both. He got
the fingy took the brunt of the damage. This was
he got
took a
blasted.
Will Levis-like hit.
I don't know how you get blindsided on the non-blind side, but he did.
You know what's funny is I saw someone just this morning posted that play reminded them of rookie Andrew Luck, and there was almost an identical play. Where Andrew Luck, I mean, the guy is coming. It's like not your blind side. It's just turn your head a little forward and the massive human pummeling down on you. And it really was like identical. He took a shellacking right to the front of your body.
Look, I'm not a quarterback. I've never played quarterback, so I can't pretend. But I would imagine a snap is somewhat like turning left in your car. Before you turn left, you always do a
yeah, the quick double check.
You're like, that's the oncoming traffic. That's what I'm most concerned about.
But you're still not going to pull out without checking.
Yeah, I'm
going to
take a little peek at the other side, just real quick.
I think that is a lot easier to do the further you are in your career. I mean, a lot of what happens when you simplify things for a quarterback with accuracy issues is you cut the field in half. And it felt like he did not know a right side of the field existed on that play, and he ended up with a dislocated finger. We got to see a lot of Taj Brooks. Who
will he need surgery on that?
No.
Oh.
No. He'll be back in practice this week.
Yeah, they said it'll be fast.
Saw Taj Brooks play for Cincinnati. Got a lot of snaps. Not any big plays, but really physical runner. I thought he looked okay.
Were you concerned?
Torrey Horton in Seattle as well.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty exciting.
He looked good. He could very well be the starting outside wide receiver from day one. We've talked a lot about how JSN and Cooper Kupp have both been primarily slot receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's going to have to move to the outside, but you're probably not going to have both of them on the outside, which means there is a role for Horton, who has been good through training camp. You look for those consistent messages where it's like this guy has been doing good, and then he looks good in preseason, so he certainly fits the bill. Any concern of Pirine? Pirine came and he took the third down work from the starters.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the game. Like, that doesn't scare me off of Chase Brown at all.
No, me neither. I think he's Pirine is Pirine.
Yeah.
You know? That's one of his weaknesses.
The only concern I have, because we've talked about, I think we just talked about it a little bit more on the Dynasty podcast, if you listen to that episode, but third down utilization for running backs is so overblown.
Correct.
It actually doesn't. It's first and second down. Even the passing work is first and second down primarily if you look at the data. However, what does play in is the 2-minute drill.
Yes.
So that's where I want to see, like, I pray Pirine is not the 2-minute drill guy. Don't do that. Cincinnati, do not do that.
That would be
Do you want a bad
weird.
2-minute drill? That's your way. That's your way to do it.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's a worthy warning there. Reminder,
the last thing, Keaton Mitchell
looked healthy.
He's healthy. I mean, he's still,
It would take an injury to Derrick Henry to be relevant, but should that happen, he has the juice that we saw 2 years ago.
Yeah, the Ravens running back, by the way.
All right, some quick preseason takeaways. We've got the Ultimate Draft Kit available at ultimatedraftkit.com. Go check that out. The new Value Scout tool is a part of that. If you are new to the show and you don't know what the UDK is about, it's all of our player projections. We update it all off-season. It's a living, breathing resource for your drafts. We've got the Sleepers, Breakouts, Busts, Values, 100-plus player profile videos that get updated as well. And you can check that out. The rankings include risk and upside meters.
And they're all tiered?
Yep, all tiered rankings and a ton of other resources. Very proud of the way the apps have turned out this year. A lot of upgrades over there. So if you've gotten the UDK before, you haven't tried it in a while, definitely check that out. Android, iOS, on the web, ultimatedraftkit.com. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into some more news.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Well, just to finish the thought on Anthony Richardson, it was dislocated right throwing pinky finger.
Is there a chance this could be a Rookie of the Year situation here, and all of a sudden he's accurate? It's like
because of the pinky?
Yeah, like the pinky was the problem, and now that it's been dislocated, he's just on the money.
No, I would say that's more in the line of pulling a toe.
Pulling a toe?
Which is what you guys brought up for Malik Neighbors.
Like pulling a toe off.
Yeah, what your solution for Malik Neighbors was to tie his toe to a door and slam the door.
Well, because it's been a long-term problem. This is a short-term problem.
Thank you, Mike.
We bring
that's
solutions to the table.
Pretty obvious.
The thing, like, if Richardson,
he's gonna. By the way, X-rays are clean. He'll be back at practice.
just to walk through it real quick, Jay, like, if his pinky came back super strong and you're throwing, I think you're not going to spiral anymore. I think you're going to throw. The pinky will snap, and then you're just going to get end over end throws.
You're saying it snaps every throw?
I'm saying if his pinky came.
No, I think you get super spiral.
Oh, do you?
I think you get super spiral.
But what if it's?
Remember you've never played quarterback. You think it's like driving a car. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get super spiral.
Do you have a super strong pinky?
Andy's pinky's so strong.
My pinky is.
Okay, I stand corrected.
People have talked about my pinky before.
Next.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about.
Oh no, we go right
Rashawn
to this
Slater.
bummer. Oh,
Rashawn Slater. This is devastating news for the Chargers on like a number of fronts. So Rashawn Slater just signed a 4-year, over $100 million, highest paid offensive lineman in the history of the NFL deal.
good for you, man. This is why.
And he tore his patellar tendon. I believe the number percentage-wise, it's like 70% of players that tear a patellar tendon do not return to form ever. So you just signed the...
It's much worse than an ACL.
Oh, much worse. So Rashawn Slater is out for the year. This is a Chargers offensive line that looked like it would be one of the best in the league. It is still, I think, pretty good. But Joe Alt, the rookie, he's going to have to come over and play left tackle where Rashawn Slater was playing. And you're going to move some pieces around, and it's going to throw that in flux, and injuries suck. I mean, it's
really sad. I was just talking up the Chargers offense, how they looked like someone that's going to be extraordinarily hard to stop. Obviously, the easiest way to stop an offense is pass rush and, get through an offensive line. I don't think this is devastating for the offense in the sense that they don't go to like a bottom offensive line where now they're not going to be able to protect or run the ball. It's just it takes a little bit of the edge away from the upside case.
Ladd McConkey still not practicing. It's an undisclosed injury. He has not practiced since the 28th.
It's a secret.
The 28th of July.
Keep it safe.
Yeah.
Did you see the first rep run by Keenan Allen in practice, by the way?
I did not.
No. Please tell me it was awesome.
Brother.
Please tell me it was awesome.
No. It's not about the rep. It's
Oh.
about the fact that when he did an outbreaking route and caught the pass, the next thing he had to do on the field was leap over a water cooler that was in the middle of the field. You're sitting there going, this is a veteran wide receiver. He runs a rep. He cuts out left. He catches the ball, and when he turns his head, there is a humongous Gatorade cooler in the middle of the field that he has to leap over. And we're like, get it off the field. You're just sitting in the middle of the field.
That's
belong
next
on a
level.
table.
That's
He could have
next
annihilated that thing.
level. Someone put that out immediately just to prove how good he was.
Yeah, Trey Harris put
my
that down
God.
there.
Yeah, well, he can still jump. So,
That's good. Yeah, McConkey had his upper leg wrapped, so it's some soft tissue issue.
He hasn't practiced since the 28th. Jaden Blue, who is making waves in Cowboys camp, rookie running back, left practice. There was some concern.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up getting tests, and it ended up being a bone bruise in his heel. That's very good news.
Yeah, they thought it was a bad ankle injury, and this should be okay.
Jake Ferguson also left practice, back contusion, recently extended. Jake Ferguson.
Yeah.
Do we have to worry about other recently extended players here?
Yeah, if you signed a recent contract, yeah, maybe that's something to be worried about. Tyreek
Kyron,
Hill.
stay safe.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill dealing with an oblique injury. That was we knew it was an undisclosed injury. He had missed time. He's not in pads today. Mike McDaniel finally said it was an oblique. It's not been a good offseason for Tyreek Hill.
No.
So for, if Vibes, which, we like, we do shows 5 days a week. Vibes come into the equation.
I run my life on vibes.
Yeah. So not good vibes. I mean, he doesn't have the trust of his locker room right now. And he had a really bad year, and he said he was going to be out. So you do wonder about a player like that at this stage of his career. Are they mentally going to be fully engaged for the season?
Yeah, I mean, he'll turn 32 this year, so that is, you're getting to the age where if your athleticism takes a step back, a lot of excuses were made last year for the wrist issue. It's like, oh, he had a wrist injury. Now, he played 17 games, but he had an injury. Maybe that was why the statistics were down. So you don't love seeing, well, he's got an oblique injury this year. Like,
no, it's not good. He's been sort of slipping down my rankings for the last couple of weeks. Just because when I stare it down in a draft, there's a gamble aspect to Tyreek Hill that is not there with some of the other players in the vicinity of where he's going. I mean, are you Tyreek Hill or T. Higgins, Jay?
Oh, T. Higgins, easy.
That's an easy.
I love T. Higgins.
Are you Tyreek Hill or Terry McLaurin?
I'd take Tyreek.
Yeah, that's
Marvin Harrison.
I would go Harrison.
You go 32-year-old versus the 23-year-old.
Tyreek Hill feels like he's going to be the best or just a terrible pick.
Yeah,
It-
right.
it-
right.
It won't
Yeah.
be in the middle. It's going to be, dude, who took Tyreek? Who was willing to do it?
Yeah,
You win.
that's where if he's going into a
Or you
place
threw your
where
third
there
in the
are
garbage.
other wide receivers, I believe will have good seasons, like T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison. I'll take those other guys. If there's other question mark guys, like I see McLaurin with Debo in town and with the touchdown regression coming, McLaurin should be a good wide receiver, but I don't necessarily think he has a
Yeah, so
great
He
season
feels
ahead.
safe. He feels safer than Tyreek.
Safer, but I don't
Yeah.
think he's
We
got
need
the
him to
same upside.
practice.
Jordan James, another 49ers running
Oh,
back,
my
also
goodness.
hurt. Going to miss a couple of weeks, undergoing surgery to repair a broken finger. Garindo's already out with a shoulder injury. And I believe Amir Abdullah's next man up.
That's right.
Is
The
it?
Abdullah Express is.
thought-
I mean, there's Patrick Taylor.
Patrick Taylor's still there.
But I do think. I mean, they signed Abdullah. He's probably next man up. Christian McCaffrey stands alone right now to have all the workload against.
You don't.
a weak-
I'm telling you, you don't want that.
I do
You-
want that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Don't tell me what I want.
You
Yeah.
don't want that much work for Christian McCaffrey.
I didn't say it's good for him. I still want it. Okay, there's a lot of things in life that aren't good for you that I'm like,
I want that.
I want that slice of pie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I want him to have a massive workload. Is that good for him? No, but is it good for
Yeah,
my
but Jay,
fantasy
if
team?
you eat 5 pies, what happens?
I get fat.
Yeah, you might throw some of that up. You gotta
probably won't.
You gotta pace yourself if you want to eat pie for an entire season.
Four
you
pies.
can't eat all the pie in the first 2 weeks.
4 pies. He's just real happy.
Yeah,
For a
it's that
minute.
fifth one that's really
Oh my god,
the problem.
it's the 5th pie. Browns running back Quinshon Judkins waived his right to a speedy trial. It could push the case into 2026. There's speculation, and my goodness,
Put the lawyer hat back on.
yeah. I mean, and I shout out to those that have reached out that are in the legal field that have wanted to provide insights and things like that. We also have some resources that we lean on. I'm going to give you the TLDR of the situation. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out, and this could be the precursor to a settlement that leads to then a suspension that leads to a signing and eventually the return of Quinshon Judkins. That's where I think it's headed.
So-
But that doesn't mean that you draft him, and it certainly doesn't mean he's playing anytime soon. So
He is not under contract. If they put him under contract anytime soon, he's going on the commissioner's list, and he's going to get 6 games. Like, he will start his career with a 6-game suspension.
correct.
Minimum.
Yeah, minimum. By the way, I'm going to take credit for this one, guys. The smelling salt situation has
Yeah?
been resolved.
Nice.
The NFL will not provide them, but you're allowed to go buy them yourself if you're an NFL player, which is, there's a lot of players that I guess lean on these things way more than probably they should.
I saw
And-
George Kittle talking online about he commented on the official post that like, oh, you can bring your own. He's like, he's a happy boy.
Yeah, I saw one of the NFL players posted he bought like $1,000 worth of
Dude,
smelling salts
I
yesterday.
was going to say, if I'm like a 7th-round rookie, on that just not a very large NFL lucrative deal, I have a black market available. Smelling salts are here.
You're dealing?
Yeah, I got a trench coat, and I'm like, who needs to wake up?
He does live on vibes. So,
Yeah.
all right, that was news and notes for today,
I gotta
sponsored
make that cash.
by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates and third-party insurers, not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. All right, we got a mock draft to get to. We'll take a break and jump right in. All right, we are going to jump into a 12-team half PPR mock draft. We got the footballers staff waiting, ready for action. Let's do it.
The Fantasy Footballers Mock Draft.
All right, the people have been asking for another mock draft, and here we are. Randomized draft order, 12-team, half PPR, 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 4 bench spots. Oh, look at that. I got the first pick in the draft. Mike's at 10, Jason at 12. Feels like a little bit of a redo of something. I feel like we were around these spots about 3-4 months ago. So we'll see what it feels like today.
I think I really enjoyed being at the back of the draft a couple months ago. There were so many players at that 3-4 turn that I liked. And I honestly, in most drafts, I think there are a lot of people that I target at the 3-4 turn. I feel like y'all sharp's going to take them all.
Okay, well, we've got the whole crew available. The draft has started. I have drafted Jamar Chase at number 1 overall in this half PPR draft. It is comfortable, cozy, wonderful. Jamar Chase for life. Bijan goes next to Julia.
And then Matthew.
Matthew Betts going Jahmyr Gibbs
I mean, he's a homer.
There is nothing.
He's a Philly homer.
Wow.
And he's
over Barkley.
He is deciding to go Gibbs over Barkley.
Yeah, I feel like we really haven't talked enough about Gibbs and whether he belongs in that top upper echelon. Like maybe throw Saquon out and you can have your discussions about that being a special year. Does he repeat it? Can he get that much volume and repeat it without getting hurt? Blah blah blah. But Bijan Gibbs, like that conversation, like we like Bijan. We know what he brings to the table. I think if you ask me what running back I would want in my backfield for an NFL team, I would choose Jahmyr Gibbs. Now,
really over Bijan as a general manager.
Yes, I would.
Wow.
I think they're both. I mean, it's like splitting hairs, but that's what I would do. That being said, like we have so much more confidence in Detroit's offensive weapons and pieces. We got question marks around Penix, but Bijan goes ahead of him in every draft. Is that
volume?
It's Montgomery hanging out?
Yeah, it's pure volume.
Okay.
I don't have Gibbs in that tier personally. Gibbs is my number 5 running back. Gibbs, if he was alone, would be incredible. But the loss of their center, the loss of their offensive coordinator, and the fact that if you look last year, like we're drafting him as if he's alone. We're drafting him, as right now the second running back off the board. If David Montgomery does what he's done for every year they've been together, you're not going to be happy. Like the splits with and without Montgomery last year, Gibbs was very, very good, but he wasn't a top tier, like top 3 running back league winner until Montgomery went down, and then his stats at the end of the season look outrageously better.
Yeah, I mean, they're a better team with Gibbs on the field. I think some people might speculate that Montgomery could enter the Algier level of work for Detroit, the way that he, Algier plays behind behind Bijan. Now, another thing that came out recently, 2 things. I'm curious your thoughts. One, it was mentioned, the new Lions running back coach is the running back coach that was with Jahmyr Gibbs at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
The other thing was just there has been some talk about maybe the transition to Morton from Ben Johnson hasn't gone as smoothly as people had hoped.
We have been concerned about it.
So, but Gibbs goes at the 103 here. Jefferson off the board at 104, so he went ahead of Barkley. Barkley goes at 105 to producer Borland. McCaffrey at 106.
Yeah, Brian.
And then Lamb, Brian Thomas Jr., Amon-Ra St. Brown. Mike went with Nico Collins at 110. I love that pick.
Yeah, he's in my top 5 of the wide receiver position. Like at 10, that was the hope of Christian McCaffrey will fall to that spot for me, but I know the league, and there's another McCaffrey staying in here with us.
I guess I didn't realize Gibbs was 1.5 better than Bijan points per game last year.
Well, that's what Jason's talking about. The end of the year juiced things up by a lot.
I think he was like almost 10 points per game better in the games without Montgomery.
That's cool that he can do that, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
If Montgomery goes down, you will have wished you took Gibbs
or
with
if
the 101.
Montgomery's role is
Sure.
what it looks like in camp. Like I think it's just good to talk about because it literally never plays out the way these ADP first rounds ever go. So, Jason, you are on the clock.
I'm on the clock here at the turn, and I could go 2 wide receivers. There's 2 excellent wide receivers, Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors. I could also go 2 running backs, Derrick Henry and Devon Achane. I like all 4 of those guys. Since to me they are all worthy picks, I like to give myself flexibility later. Take 1 running back, 1 wide receiver. I'll take my running back 4, who I have 1 spot ahead of Gibbs and Derrick Henry, and I will take my wide receiver 5, Malik Neighbors. Usually, we just talked about this on the wide receiver episode. I have Puka ahead of Malik Neighbors, but right now, with the concerns with Stafford, if I'm looking at those 2 players, I'm going to go with the Malik Neighbors side, even though he might have to have a toe removed.
I started seeing some AI photos of Malik Neighbors and his toe tied to a door and all of the tooth loss stuff. It was very entertaining.
What we didn't get into was the toe fairy.
I mean,
you put a toe on a tooth is getting you like what?
$5 most.
And put a toe under there?
You get a Benjamin.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, Jason pulled the trigger. Henry and Neighbors, it's a great start. You give yourself a lot of versatility on the draft selections on the way down, not going one position. I don't know if I mentioned after Nico, it was Genty, then Henry, Neighbors. Puka Nacua goes at the 202. I was very curious in this draft when the trigger gets pulled on Puka Nacua and the question marks around, or the bad vibes around Stafford. Mike goes with Achane.
Yeah, in which Kyle made that decision for me. It was, for me, being on the clock with Nico as my first pick, I would have been willing to take Puka as my wide receiver 2, just right here on the turn. But Puka went, so then that's an easy Devon Achane for me.
All right, A.J. Brown, wide receiver stack here for the Falcon, Amon-Ra and A.J. Brown. Bucky Irving off the board at 205, Chase Brown at 206.
Oh, stop it.
Jonathan Taylor, what did you think? Chase Brown's coming around to the late third?
I didn't think he would make it to me, but we got to keep this ADP in the third.
Oh, I see. Yeah, not going to happen here on this mock draft. And maybe not in real drafts. But we'll see what the preseason looks like. Jonathan Taylor at 207. I have a hard time with the Colts in general. Like, I love Tyler Warren. Mm-hmm. I think Tyler Warren's he's going to be like Brock Bowers. He's going to be immune to the problems around him, I think. He's that talented, that good. I do get really nervous about the quarterback situation for my confidence levels on Taylor, on Downs, on Pittman, on any other peripheral player because, Daniel Jones is not a celebrated situation. For years, that is the reason why you don't like weapons in New York. It's the reason why you don't like Saquon Barkley in New York as much as you could have. So, Jonathan Taylor, the end of the year masked a lot of issues earlier in the year in terms of efficiency.
It did when you're talking about monstrous games. I mean, they were all at the end of the year. However, his last 17 games, he's an A in consistency. He's still a great asset, and I think he is such a special player. I have no problem taking Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, I wish he was playing with Eli Manning as opposed to,
not anymore, you don't.
Well, sure.
He's
okay.
really old now.
Today's Eli Manning, no.
I just worry about touchdowns.
I
worry about whether that's really going to be a part of
the touchdowns from an offensive standpoint of whether the team is good enough, and when you get near the goal line, you have two possible, quarterbacks that could vulture touchdowns.
We've got Taylor at 207, Drake London off the board, Kyron, Josh Jacobs, and Brock Bowers at 211. I think I just remembered that I am in this draft and need to make a pick.
Yeah. And
by make a pick, I mean 2 picks. So I am on the clock. Jamar Chase was the first rounder. Let me highlight something here. If I don't take one of the premier tight ends with one of these 2 picks, which I don't want to do, I will have no shot at either one of them.
That is correct.
George Kittle will be gone. Trey McBride will be gone. I don't think I've drafted a top-tier tight end at all in any of these mocks, so maybe that would be a reason to give it a shot. I'm not really looking to go quarterback. At running back, I'd rather be dead than draft Breece Hall. So other players on the board, it feels like there's been a big tier break after Josh Jacobs.
This draft has steamed up the running backs. Chase Brown, Kyron Williams, those guys are usually going in the 3rd round. This group of writers, they're not playing those games.
Yeah, I will take Trey McBride. We'll give that a shot. It's a mock draft for a reason. Jamar Chase in the 1st, Trey McBride in the 2nd. Looking at the running back position, I'm going to pull the trigger on Amari Hampton, which I think has the highest upside at this point in the draft. You're making decisions between him and, the ever-injured Kenneth Walker, the older Alvin Kamara on a bad offense. Joe Mixon's on the pup right now, and it's too early, I think, for Connor and Montgomery. So Amari Hampton will go off the board at 301. Higgins, McConkey, and JSN, the next 3 off the board. Lamar Jackson, the first quarterback off the board at 305. Garrett Wilson, Mike, he's not going to be on your team. He goes at 306.
Brian is the worst.
That sounded like a grade school fight. Chuba Hubbard off the board at 307. Marvin Harrison, and George Kittle at 309. So Kittle goes what is that, 8 picks behind the other two guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's still steamed up here. When we started this, I feel like a month ago, he was
if
a
you
fifth
say
rounder.
steamed again, that's too many.
Then you'll be steamed.
That's too many times. I'm
gonna work it in.
You've been.
I'm gonna work it.
I don't know why
now.
you chose that for today, but you are hitting it.
So
It's like the Pee Wee Playhouse
like
word of the day.
a month and a half ago. A month and a half ago, Kittle was like a 5th rounder. Then he was a 4th rounder. Now he is.
I still think
all
late third
the way
is
up.
fine.
It's still good value.
Yeah.
I think if you compare what he can do to McBride and Bowers, I mean, he was on a points per game. He was the tight end 1 last year over Bowers. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up landing.
All right, Mike, you were on the clock. Nico in the first, Achane in the second, half PPR. Where's your head at?
So I was going to I think I don't mind. When we talk about Tyreek, I don't mind him here, but the fact that I have Achane and going all in on the Miami Dolphins with my second and third doesn't feel extremely comfortable. So I'm peeking around. No one has done the quarterbacks have not started going off. Was hoping that Kittle dropped to me because I was going to take him in front of Jason. Because I knew he would. I know the room. I know he would not make it back.
Yeah, I had 3 players on my queue that I thought might get to me. It was Kittle, Harrison, and Garrett Wilson, who are all gone.
So I'm taking a peek here at my rankings. I don't think I can do the Tyreek Hill thing. So that turns me to.
Well, here you go, Tyreek Hill. He's on the board for me too, and I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to do it because I don't want to double Dolphin.
Would you have? I mean, if you didn't have HM, would you have?
Then I would have taken Tyreek. Yes.
Okay, so you take Mike Evans.
Yeah, because Evans is just behind Tyreek in my rankings.
So Tyreek does go next, putting Jason on the clock. 2 picks here at the end of the third, start of the fourth. Derrick Henry, Malik Neighbors so far?
Yeah, so the running back tiers, you're to the real question marks. You're to the Breece Halls, the Kenneth Walkers, the guys that are talented, but you're just not sure, are they going to get the workload you want? Are they going to be on the field? At this point, I've talked a lot about how Josh Allen's a guy I haven't drafted. I don't expect to get him anywhere because he's usually in the second round. I'm at the 3-4 turn here.
It's a pretty good value.
So I will definitely take Josh Allen at that point because what I'm sacrificing isn't these other wide receivers and running backs that I'm so confident in. At this point, I mean, I might be sacrificing a great running back or wide receiver, but they all have a lot of question marks. So at wide receiver, I've got Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, some of those guys still available. I'm not loving any of them, to be quite frank. So
Metcalf doesn't make you feel all right here in the fourth?
Metcalf makes me feel okay. I honestly, when Mike was on the clock, I thought, okay, no problem. Mike Evans will be my pick. I will be very happy with that. And then he took Mike Evans, so I was unhappy with that. I will take Metcalf here. I think he is a clear one for his team. I think Aaron Rodgers has – I mean, even when he's played poorly, he showed last year – Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams had plenty of fantasy success, and there's no one else to throw the ball to in Pittsburgh. So, yeah, Metcalf will join Neighbors, Josh Allen, and Derrick Henry.
Well, after Metcalf, Kamara went, and Mike took his guy, Kenneth Walker at the 403.
Yeah. You see a fullback dominating in that scheme last night? Kenbon Walker is going to be great.
I will be
playing.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. When you said, "Did you see?" I assumed it would be like Walker was practicing. Like that was how hyped you were that he was out there on the field.
He is rested, so that means that he is practicing.
He does need a lot of rest. Terry McLaurin goes next. Jalen Hurts at the 405. DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, James Cook. Good value. 408. Great pick. I think by Al Borland. Pulled the trigger. I had some hopes that he might sneak all the way back through, but of course he didn't.
Matthew Betts with just the testosterone flowing through his body right now with 3 running backs.
Yes, and it seems that all the people drafting in front of me knew exactly who I was looking to, which was James Conner. Jamison Williams goes right in front of me.
Joe Mixon's there for you, dude.
He
He's
is
your guy.
going to be the pick. Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow. Joe and Joe. I'm putting the Chase Burrow stack into play here. He's Burrowed the 4th off the board here. It's the difference between him and Jaden Daniels. I want the stack, so I'll take Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow.
I blame picks 2 through 5 there for not taking Joe Burrow.
That was the number one on the list, was just hoping he made it back through. Because completing that stack completes me as a person.
We've seen it a lot where
You just turn the auto draft on. You're like, well,
yeah, I'm done. The
I
draft's
don't
over.
care.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Joe Burrow in the 4th or 5th for the team that drafted 1st or 2nd. So the Jamar Chase team often ends up. It's like it's the easiest to complete stack because it seems like when you're in the middle of the rounds, there's better players to take over Joe Burrow, and then when you're sitting there with Jamar Chase on your team, it's just like a no-brainer.
Yeah, no, it feels awesome. I love it.
But you now have taken 2 onesies in the first 5 picks, so we'll have to see if your depth pays the price.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm going to count Chase's 2 wideouts, though. Joe Burrow, I took at the 501. Montgomery next. Pickens off the board. Travion Henderson. Mike is weeping. Devontae Adams at 505. R.J. Harvey, 2 picks after Travion. It feels like the drum beat on Travion is going one direction. On R.J. Harvey is going the other direction. Zay Flowers at 507. Aaron Jones, who is listed on the initial depth chart as the running back 1. No co-starter listing between him and Jordan Mason. Not that that matters much. Jaden Daniels at 509 seems like a value.
Well, no, but Falcon is also going – he's going very low T. He's got 3 wide, and his onesies are already drafted.
He's also got the McLaurin Daniels stack.
Going 0 RB.
Mike, you're back on the clock. Achane, Kenneth Walker at running back, Evans and Nico Collins, twinsies at wide receiver.
So, looking at my rankings here, this would have been the spot that I hoped George Pickens would drop there. Unfortunately, he does not. And so I got my primary guys, so I'm maybe going to swing for some upside here. I'm going to leap him up just a couple rankings because I have concerns I may not get him back. I'm going to take Teteroa McMillan.
You would not have got him back. He was on my list for this turn.
Yeah, and Kyle shouts no into the Slack. Yeah, I made the right decision.
And then settled upon Cortland Sutton, who I think is going to have a very solid year.
Cortland Sutton, he's wild, man. That's the name I was looking at. He's higher in my rankings. He's in my top 20. But, at this point when you're saying, just the upside.
I think he's got upside.
Even though Sutton probably outscores McMillan.
We need to wash away all the multi-year frustrations of Cortland Sutton not developing, I think. If we believe in Bo Nix at all, then Cortland Sutton is going to have an incredible year.
So I'm on the clock. I was prepared to take my first share of Isaiah Pacheco this year, had everyone on my queue gone. But thankfully, Caleb Johnson, a player I very much believe in. I just wish Arthur Smith wasn't there.
I got bad news for you.
Arthur Smith is there?
And he's not going.
Yeah, I know. But I do.
He also represents your RB2 here.
He does. It's a little bit dicey. I'm going to have to add some veteran starters later in the draft. But I'm going to start slow, and I'm going to win a championship. I'm going to start slow with Caleb Johnson. I'm going to start slow without Rashee Rice, and have to kind of find some victories along the
6th-round pick, 6-game suspension.
6th-round pick. I get what I believe is a wide receiver 1 when he's out on the field. So the 6th round is where I'm willing to take the gamble on Rashee.
That's too rich for me. Mike, do you want him in the 6th round?
I do not.
Okay. Travis Hunter off the board at 602. Mike, you're back on the clock. You got the rookie Teteroa McMillan. If you believe in kind of like symmetry, you've been wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, running back,
well,
wide receiver.
Maybe I do. So the running back, Pacheco is there. Man. Pacheco in the 6th round.
Oh, boy.
Is I'm looking at 2 Chiefs. I'm looking at Worthy and Pacheco. Pacheco doesn't feel good, but it is it is a backfield that we need to attack, and reports on him have been, I think, better than we anticipated. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Pacheco.
Well, you keep it going, the wide receiver, running back and forth.
See how long I can do it.
DeAndre Swift goes next, and Tony Pollard off the board at the 605. We finally see Stephon Diggs leave here in the middle of the 6th round, and then a huge, in my opinion, value on Jalen Waddle. You just look at Tyreek in the late 3rd, which is he's slipped a little, but then Waddle, 3 full rounds later, and I think if Waddle stays healthy, I just don't see that much of a differential between them. But he probably,
I just like.
I mean, you should be, of all the people, you should be the one that just assumes he'll be healthy.
I got absolutely torched by Jalen Waddle last year. I just think it makes me chuckle of, like the Kenneth Walker, everything is does he stay healthy? And I know it's 2 rounds later, and it's just funny to hear you guys be in on Waddle. Of course I'm in on Waddle.
Well,
of course I'm in.
The cost, man. The cost is much different. But I do believe your entire team, if you get the players that you want, you could have nobody play in week 3.
Yeah. I play for first.
Or last.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs, Waddle.
Ooh, I got 4th place.
Worthy, Olave.
Call my mom.
Well, I mean, you can win with players that don't get hurt.
Right?
All the
Yeah,
time.
you can actually. You almost always have to win with players who don't get hurt.
It's not like spending the 3rd pick on Christian McCaffrey is at value there, but Olave at 609, Ridley and Pierce also huge run of wide receivers off the board. I have 2 names currently in my queue. I'm just double checking to make sure that I don't have anybody else I'm missing here. I'm gonna be the guy to take this player the highest he's been taken. I'm taking J.K. Dobbins in the end of the 6th.
Oh,
man. In the end of the 6th round.
I had him in my queue. I was
Scroll
sure
down.
he'd get to the 7-8 turn. I don't think it is a bad
Well,
pick.
I've got to wait like 5,000 picks between my 2 rounds.
It's
as
an
well.
important piece of advice for people that are drafting on the turn. When you are on the turn,
Yeah.
you are 24 picks away, and crazy things happen every 3 or 4 or 5 picks. You got to take the guys you want. You can't play the ADP game. If you're in the middle, if you're near the turn, go ahead and play the ADP game and be like, okay, J.K. Dobbins isn't going in the next 5 or 6 picks, but is J.K. Dobbins going in the next 25 picks?
Right.
Maybe. He was on my queue.
You know who else is probably going in the next 25 picks I didn't want to lose?
Oh, come on! That was so low. You freaking jerk!
You just
dirty
gave a
dog.
big speech about why you got to pull the trigger.
Yeah, but not you took my 2 guys.
Amika Egbuka is
quit.
off the board.
Come on.
I took
He was
Egbuka.
so low.
Oh, of course he was.
You disgust me.
I love mock draft season with
So
Jason.
you disgust me.
Yes, indeed. Egbuka and Dobbins off the board. Now, Egbuka is my wide receiver too. I'm going to have to add some depth there, but maybe not. I mean, if anything, Egbuka gets off to the fastest start a rookie can with the opportunity afforded him. So Brian Robinson, Jacoby Myers, Addison, Jaden Reed, Jerry Jeudy, Kelsey in the 7th. I like that. Odunze, who it was between Egbuka and Odunze there for me. Jameson Williams. Oh, sorry, not Jameson. Javonte. The worst of the J. Williams. Mike, you're back on the clock. We got 5 rounds left, and you are sitting Nico, Evans, McMillan, HN, Walker, Pacheco. It's a lot of solid running back wide receiver depth.
Yeah, we are. Let's keep this train rolling, everybody. I'm just going to take my guy. I don't know what the ADP situation will shake out on this corner. We talked about the concern for the Colts, but I just have such faith that Josh Downs, whose numbers, his behind-the-scenes numbers of like targets per route run, like we're truly wide receiver 1 level, and like I think he can be fine with Richardson. And Daniel Jones stinks, but Daniel Jones also started the year just throwing Malik Neighbors the ball every single time he could, and I think that could be Josh Downs.
Yeah, so I'm on the clock. Jalen Warren went to Kyle, and I basically had 4 guys in my queue, and I wanted a running back and I wanted a wide receiver. I preferred J.K. Dobbins and Egbuka. Those were the 2 I wanted.
Oh, my gosh, I have them.
But I'm taking basically the other versions of them. I'm going to take Jaden Higgins, another rookie wide receiver who looks like he's going to start for day 1 for C.J. Stroud, and I'm going to take Jordan Mason. All the camp reports are that it's basically a 50-50 split. I love the offense there for Minnesota. So, I needed one of each. I would prefer your guys, but I guess it makes sense that you got to draft before me.
That's fair. Bo Nix goes next in the 8th round. Mike back on the clock. Downs was the last pick. Why don't we give Mike a second to think? We'll take a break.
Please do.
We'll come right back. All right, Mike, back on the clock here. Downs was his pick in the last round, 3rd pick of the 8th round.
Yeah, so I am a man of balance. I got my 4 wide. I got well, I guess I'm not totally balanced. I would be if I took a running back here, but I'm not going to, as this draft, sharper people, that we did not fall for the tight ends in that area where they should not be drafted because there's just too many juicy players. But I am now going to take my tight end.
It's genius. Like I was just looking at this. I'm like, we're in the 8th, and these guys who I just said, is like on my ice pick. When taking those guys in the 5th round over that caliber of running back wide receivers, it makes no sense. Here?
Yeah,
you got to take them.
And this one is tough because it's I got Laporta there. Man, you got Hawkinson is there. Dude, it's crazy the amount of guys there. I didn't even realize that Laporta was there because I was thinking Hawkinson, David Njoku. Which one do I want to go with? Do I want the upside of I think if things work out for Joe Flacco and David Njoku, he will be just an unbelievable pick where Hawkinson will just be kind of safe and not let you down. But with Laporta still there, I personally believe in the upside still being there for him. So I'm going to take him over the baseline of Hawkinson.
Sam Laporta off the board. Travis Etienne goes next.
Oh, man. DeAndre Swift, Javonte Williams, and Travis Etienne. What could go wrong?
Those are the 3 running backs for Al?
The thing – no, that's
for
the Falcon.
That's right.
Because he went 0 RB. The thing about 0 RB is your team is not – it looks gross at the draft. But it's all about shaping it as the season goes on. So when you are a full 0 RB team, you can't just look at the draft and judge it by that.
So after Etienne, Hawkinson goes off the board. Golden. Rookie Matthew Golden, who's been getting rave reviews from Jordan Love. Deebo Samuel off the board. Jerome Ford off the board. Mark Andrews. Juwan Jennings and Khalil Shakir. I'm going to double tap the wide receiver position here. I've got these guys all set up. I'm going to go ahead and take Keenan Allen in the 8th round.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm going to take Chris Godwin and
I'm going to put him on the pup.
I'm going to put him on the pup if he goes on the pup. Otherwise, I'm going to have a deal on Chris Godwin here in the 9th round. I have Igbuka. I'm looking for some depth at wide receiver, and I love that offense. Cedric Tillman goes off the board at 902. Tank Bigsby around after Travis Etienne. Patrick Mahomes, a 9th round pick to Papa Josh, who also has Mr. Olave, has Addison with the suspension there, but has Jefferson and JSN to hold up that wide receiver room.
Last mock draft, Owl went with the disgusting New York Giants backfield.
Oh, the Scatterboo Tracy combo?
Yeah, he just I got to lock that thing down.
That was a few drafts ago.
Oh, sorry.
All good.
Feels like yesterday.
I bring it up because now you were like, you know what backfield I need to lock down? The Cleveland Browns.
Jerome Ford, Judkins back-to-back, and Baker off the board.
Jair's talking. He's good. He's not under contract. He's going to get a 6-game suspension.
Doesn't listen to the show. Okay. He's not a fan. He's not subscribed.
All right.
Baker Mayfield, Charbonnet, Najee, Scatterboo. Mike, you're on the clock.
What a great name.
What?
Scatterboo? Are you kidding me?
It's a fun name.
He's got to do something special.
Well, he's hurt right now, and I do find it interesting. Tyron Tracy, the starter, is still sitting there. Mike, you're on the clock. You took Laporta. You'll need a quarterback in the next 3 rounds. But
not really concerned about that. Looking at the quarterback, we got Kyler, Goff is there, Herbert, Purdy, Caleb Williams, Dak, Justin Fields, Jordan Love. I mean, Drake May. Not concerned about that position at the moment. We're gonna go. We're in the 9th. All right, we're gonna start. I mean, I got my. I have the players I need to start the year. So we're going to throw some upside here. I'm going to take Luther Burden as someone who I have made proclamations of could be very surprising for the Bears. Excuse me, as even possibly ending up as the 2nd best wide receiver on the team.
Scatterboo, Burden, and now Tyrone Tracy does go 2 picks after Scatterboo. Jason's on the clock. Jordan Mason, Jaden Higgins, the last 2 picks for him.
We've talked about what we believe the Patriots could develop into as an offense. I am in need of another running back, and while Mike hates him because of his love for Travion Henderson, I think Ramondre Stevenson is still going to be very involved for this team. He's paid a lot of money, and it should be a committee.
That's such an important pick for your team. I was just looking at your team with Caleb and Jordan Mason as your RB2s, which maybe that works out quicker than expected. Maybe Mason's startable from day one. But adding Ramondre gives you so much more just comfort at that position.
Yeah, and then here in the 10th round, I'll go ahead and pull the trigger on David Njoku, my usual late-round tight end target. It was between him and Tyler Warren, who goes next.
Nice.
If it's a real draft, I very well might take Tyler Warren over David Njoku just for the hopeful breakout upside. We know what David Njoku is. He's not going to be, up in the Kittle McBride tier with Bowers. You hope that maybe Tyler Warren does something special.
If Flacco plays every game, David Njoku could be right there in that second tier, like the leader of it.
Njoku, Warren off the board in the 10th round. We're sitting here. I really do believe Tyler Warren he's just a free square if you need it.
Sure.
Mike, you are back on the clock. 2 picks left.
All right. Looking at the quarterback situation, I gotta make one. So I'm going to follow my rankings here. ADP, be darned. I'm going to take Dak Prescott.
All right. Dak is off the board. Keon Coleman. We had Shakir go off the board in the 8th round of this draft. There is hope that he's back for week 1, and if he is, then his depressed ADP will be helpful for fantasy players. Trey Harris off the board. Ray Davis, Evan Ingram, Tucker Kraft, Jaden Blue to Papa Josh. A nice dart throw there.
Ray Davis.
Yeah, not talked about enough.
Not talked about enough. There's 2 running backs who I think we are not, we have done a disservice, and I apologize. Ray Davis needs to be talked about more, and Braylon Allen needs to be talked about more. They haven't paid Cook yet. He is doing his "why are you here" business. He's holding in. Ray Davis, when given the opportunity, looked like a guy who really belonged on the field, and it's going to be a timeshare for a very powerful offense. And then, with the Jets, of everything we've heard has been this is going to be a timeshare with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. And yeah, I'd rather have the guy who's catching the passes because a reception is worth so much more than an attempt. But that's not saying Braylon Allen can catch, and at this point of the draft, it's wild.
All right,
I didn't talk you into him, Andy?
No. I mean, you could have, but I
tried.
I ended up going Brandon Ayuk, who.
Oh, you're playing team waiver wire over here.
Brandon Ayuk and
with Godwin and Brandon Ayuk
and our team IR. You mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you said waiver wire.
Well, because you're going to put him on your IR.
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
you're going to go right to the wire.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're going to pick up Braylon Allen.
You got it. There it is. I took Nick Chubb with the final pick. I have Mixon on the team in the 4th round. I did take Chubb over Woody Marks just because, we just don't. It's a split and hair situation. I'm going to go veteran there. Herbert, Loveland, Mooney, Cooper Kupp, who was in consideration. It was him or Brandon Ayuk. I just chose the guy I can probably throw on the pup.
Yep.
And Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, Blake Corum, Tajay Spears, great pick there in the final round. Mike and Jason, you have 2 of the final 3 picks. Dak was your last one.
So I love Dak. I am fully confident in him being a QB1 for the season. But at this, it's I'm going to take a shot here at a guy who could leap, could leap into the top 5 and be a true difference maker. The 2 options, Justin Fields. Reports are not great, but other than on the Bears, we did see some of what it could become. We are a long ways away from Justin Fields really being elite for fantasy football, but it could happen. And Jordan Love, who was disappointing last year, but he was hurt all year.
Did you see the recent comments about the running game too, like him running?
Oh, Jordan Love.
Yeah, they're making a big commitment with him running more because.
Oh, well, then Jordan Love. I'll take him.
They said last year he wasn't able to do it with the injuries.
Correct.
And
Kyle, what?
Kyle went Kyle.
Kyle Pitts
with the last pick of his draft. Jason,
why not?
I'm gonna
look. If
you got your pick of whoever you want,
we're all very confident in Warren because rookie tight ends the past 2 years have worked out. Historically, not really. So. I don't know.
Look, I don't know how many people listen to the show to the last minute. I hope no one right now is listening, but Kyle Pitts is going to be a productive tight end this year. It is just a fact. He is going to be a productive, annoying tight end, and
They'll have at least 600 yards.
They do not have enough players on the offensive side of the football, and there's just too much positive vibes around Kyle Pitts. I'm not saying you draft him. I'd rather you don't.
All right, so with my team, final pick here, I still feel like my running back room, I want to plug in some early starters while Caleb Johnson gets going. So I'm going to focus on ambiguous backfields on good offenses. I'm going to take Austin Eckler here,
Yep,
pass-catching running back for the Washington Commanders.
All right, that rounds out our half PPR mock draft. If you want to see the entire draft board or walk through any of the picks from any of the teams, you can do that on YouTube. By checking out our YouTube channel. It's a great time to go get subscribed, youtube.com/thefantasyfootballers. Make sure you click the bell. We're live every Sunday morning before the games get started. Mike's with you, helping you make start-sit decisions.
We have a special mini-series that our episodes are going live every Saturday.
That is right. So go check that out.
Through August.
youtube.com/thefantasyfootballers. To finish this up, my team, I ended up with Jamar Chase at the 101. Took the shot on a tight end in the second round with Trey McBride. So went onesie there. I got the stack with Joe Burrow. And the rest of my wideouts, Egbuka, Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, Brandon Ayuk.
You're going to need that. You're going
to need the waiver
wide
wire,
receiver.
yeah.
And then Amari Hampton, Joe Mixon, J.K. Dobbins, and Nick Chubb at running back.
Jay, who you got?
So I started with Derrick Henry. I got Caleb Johnson, Jordan Mason, Ramondre Stevenson, and Austin Eckler filling out my running backs. At wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, DK Metcalf, Rashee Rice, and Jaden Higgins. I did the third round Josh Allen at quarterback and a late round David Njoku.
I got Nico Collins, Mike Evans, Tedoroa McMillan, Josh Downs, Luther Burden at wideout, Devon Achane, Kenneth Bone Walker, Isaiah Pacheco at my running back position, and then Dak and Jordan Love. I should have taken Braylon Allen. I didn't realize I only had three running backs.
I couldn't believe you didn't after all that talk.
Because I got locked in.
Thanks for leaving him for the waiver wire after I throw all
I got locked in. I'm going to drop
pup.
Jordan Love for Braylon Allen.
We've got RB ranking shows coming up next week. We've got 10 tips and tricks. We got My Guys episode next week. It is go time. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure if you're on a podcast app, you click that follow button so you can be alerted to new episodes. We're 5 days a week. And like Mike said, we have a special bonus episode, mini-series coming out tomorrow on YouTube exclusively, so you can check that out. And that'll do it for today's episode. Shout out to the Deucers managing the deucing and the drafting on today's episode.
Impressive.
So, appreciate that. You can find the community at jointhefoot.com. Come hang out with us.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.